Today, we're diving into Anees Jung's incredible book, Lost Spring. And that title, wow, it says it all, doesn't it? It's all about the lives of impoverished children in India, kids whose most important years, their childhood, are stolen away by poverty and tradition. Think about what spring really means. It's that season of life, for blooming, for growing, for dreaming. So when you call it a lost spring, you're talking about a lost childhood. It's potential that's been just nipped in the bud. So in this explainer, we're going to zoom in on two powerful stories from the book. We'll meet two different boys in two very different worlds, but they're both trapped in a cycle that's robbing them of their youth. And what makes these stories so real, so raw, is that we get them straight from the author's own encounters. You know, she's not just some reporter writing from a distance. She's right there talking with these kids, giving us a true first-hand look into their lives. Through her writing, Jung really pulls back the curtain on the harsh systems that are at play. It's this toxic mix, you know? On one hand, you have this relentless, grinding poverty. And on the other, you have these deep-seated traditions that trap these kids and force them into a life of work long before they've even had a chance to just be kids. So our first story is about a boy named Saheb. In his world, it's one you might walk past every single day without even thinking about it. The massive garbage dumps on the edge of a big city. This one sentence from Saheb, it just hits you. In his world, a single coin found in the trash isn't just garbage. No way. It's a discovery. It's a little piece of treasure. For him, it's gold. So who is this kid? Well, he's a rag picker in Simapuri, which is basically a settlement right outside Delhi. His family had to flee Bangladesh back in '71 when storms wiped out everything they had. And get this, the irony is just heartbreaking. His full name is Saheb-e-Alam, which means Lord of the Universe. And this Lord of the Universe spends his days walking barefoot, sifting through other people's garbage. And this is where it gets so interesting, right? The way the kids and the adults see the exact same thing. For the grown-ups, garbage is just survival. It's their daily bread, plain and simple. But for the children, for Saheb, it's still an adventure. It's a treasure hunt. It's still wrapped in this sense of wonder, this hope that they'll find that one rupee, or maybe a cool discarded shoe. But then Saheb's life takes a turn. He gets a real job working at a tea stall. He now earns a steady wage, 800 rupees a month, plus his meals. And on the surface, you might think, great, that's a step up. But it comes at a huge cost. The author makes this incredible observation. The steel canister he carries for the tea shop owner, it feels heavier than that massive plastic bag he used to haul around for himself. And why is that? Because the plastic bag was his. He was his own boss. The canister belongs to someone else. Saheb has traded that carefree freedom, his independence, for a tiny salary. He's not his own master anymore. Okay, let's shift gears now and turn to our second story. We're going to meet Mukesh. He's a boy whose dream is this small, quiet act of rebellion against the life everyone expects him to live. When the author asks him what he wants to be, Mukesh's answer is so simple, but it's also completely defiant. He says, I want to drive a car. He doesn't say he wants to be an astronaut or something wild. His dream is pretty grounded, but in his world, it's a million miles away. You see, Mukesh lives in Firozabad, the heart of India's glass bangle industry. And here, your destiny is basically decided the second you're born. If you're born in Firozabad, you're born to make bangles. The whole town is built on this one very dangerous trade. And just look at this number, 20,000. That's a staggering figure. We're talking about an estimated 20,000 children working illegally in the glass furnaces of this one town. They're this invisible, exploited army of kids, fueling an entire industry. So next time you see those beautiful, colorful bangles, think about this. The human cost is just devastating. Kids are working in these dark, hot little rooms right next to blazing furnaces. The air is terrible. And that fine dust from the glass, many of them lose their eyesight before they even become adults. And the families? They just accept it. They're told it's their karam, their destiny. Like there's no other choice. So the obvious question is, why don't they just leave? Why not do something else? And that brings us to this vicious circle that keeps them completely and utterly trapped. It is not as simple as just choosing a new career path. Not even close. Let's break down how this trap works. First, it all starts with fate. You're born into the bangle maker caste, and you're told that's where you belong, period. That leads directly to child labor, because every hand is needed just to survive. Then this system closes in. You've got middlemen, moneylenders, police, politicians. They all profit from this cheap labor, and they make sure no one can ever organize or get out. After years of this mind-numbing work, any dream you had, any initiative, it just gets crushed. And so, what happens? The cycle repeats, and the burden gets passed down to the next generation. It's almost unbreakable. Okay, so after all that, things seem pretty bleak, right? But the author leaves us with this final comparison between the two boys. And in that comparison, there's this tiny, faint, but absolutely crucial glimmer of hope. So on one side, you have Saheb. His spirit seems crushed, weighed down by that heavy steel canister. He's lost his freedom. But then you have Mukesh. When the author points out that the garage where he wants to work is a long way off, he just says, "I will walk." He insists. In that one little word, insists. That's everything. That's the spark. His dream is still alive. And that really leaves us with this final question. For a kid like Mukesh, a dream isn't just some fantasy. It's an act of resistance. It's the one thing that this whole vicious system hasn't managed to steal from him yet. And it really makes you think, when a dream is truly all you have left, how far would you be willing to walk for it?